Good morning, Clearbranch kids. I love that we get to spend this whole month celebrating Christmas, the birth of God's Son and our Savior. And it's the best time of year because we get to celebrate these wonderful things. And there's no one that I would rather spend this time with and celebrate with than you. So today's lesson comes from two different books of the Bible, Luke and Matthew. Now, both of these books of the Bible are part of the first four books of the New Testament known as the Gospels. And the Gospels tell us all about Jesus' life. Now, you may remember, we've talked about this before, that the story of Jesus started long before his birth. It actually starts way back in years and years before that. See, God's people were going through a very, very dark time. And then God sent a message to him through prophets like Isaiah, promising that one day he was going to send them a rescuer. And then for hundreds of years, God's people waited and looked for this Savior to come. At this time, many of God's people had returned to and had settled in their homeland, but they weren't really free. See, they were living under the rule of the Roman Empire and were having to pay heavy, heavy taxes. And so it was a hard time for a lot of God's people, but most of them managed to stay true to God and continue to trust God with their whole hearts. And that's where this part of the story comes in. One of those people was a young girl named Mary. She was just a regular, ordinary, everyday girl, but she was someone who trusted God and had stayed true to him. Now, Mary was engaged to be married to a man named Joseph and was going about her normal everyday life when something very out of normal and very extraordinary happened to her. See, an angel named Gabriel came to see Mary, and she couldn't believe that. Why would he be doing that? And what he told her next would change her life forever. See, first, Gabriel told Mary that God was very pleased with her, which was amazing enough in itself. But then he told her that she would become pregnant with and give birth to a son. But this son would not just be a regular person. This son would also be the Son of God, the Savior that had been promised to God's people all those years ago. I can't imagine what Mary must have been thinking or feeling or how scared or uncertain she may have been in that moment. But like I said before, Mary trusted God. She knew that she could trust him, that she could have faith in him and his plan. And so Mary told the angel that she was God's faithful servant and that she would do whatever was asked of her. Guys, we know Mary had to have been scared. This was going to be a huge job. It's hard enough raising a regular child, but to be the mother of the Son of God, that's got to come with some extra work, some extra worry, some extra prayer, all of these things. She didn't know what to expect. She had to have doubts and fears about what was going to happen. But again, Mary knew that she could trust God to be with her and to help her no matter what. And you know what's so great about this story? God is with us like that too, no matter what happens. And guys, as we celebrate Christmas, we can also celebrate that God is with us through anything that we may face in this life. And so that's our bottom line for this week. Celebrate because God is with you.